In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the upcoming pattern. We still have a lot more major severe weather on the way as we're still in the early portion of the month of May, so a lot more severe weather is on the way. Also, we're going to be diving into just other storms that are going to be going on. There is still some snowfall to discuss, some big temperature fluctuations, among other things. Now, I do have an exciting announcement. I am working on my first ever vlog, okay? So I've announced this in a couple of comments for people asking about the dog or my garden, hey, vlog channel coming soon. A lot of you probably haven't seen that I've been working on this for a while now. A big time first vlog is coming up, like weeks of footage is going to be included in that video, so it's probably going to be close to 20 minutes long. And then I'm expecting to try to do weekly uploads over there, and it's just going to be stuff that I want to do. It's going to be very similar to home videos, a little bit more entertaining than that probably. I don't want to get too crazy with it. I want it to just be things that I enjoy, like the weather. So for those of you that like the weather, which I'm assuming is most of you, I will be filming a lot of storms that happen around wherever I'm at, documenting that and just talking about the weather overall, my garden, my dog, my life, just whatever, I'm looking at it as something that I can record and enjoy doing, and if any of you enjoy watching it, then that's great, but I'm not taking it too seriously, so it's just a little fun thing. If you are interested in that, the first video is not out yet, but I will have a link in the comment and description down below that you guys can check out and subscribe so that you can see that first video when it comes out. And check it out and show your support. I would appreciate that. Anyway, let's dive into the video. As we take a look at later on this afternoon, I might be uploading this video a little bit late, I don't know yet, but we do see thunderstorm activity, especially across the southern Midwest, kind of southern Ohio Valley into the deeper south here. And this does stretch a little bit into the southeast as well. With some of this, as always, we will take a look at the Storm Prediction Center outlooks at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that for more specific details in that direction. We do have a 998 over the northeast, and this is causing some rainfall overall and some thunderstorms, especially probably in the southern quadrant underneath that low, I would say, is the most likely area to feature those. We still have some snowfall ongoing for the Rockies, Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, Colorado, down through Utah as well. Some of that happening. Let's take this towards Thursday, tomorrow, from the time I'm making this video, on May 9th, and we see a little bit of that. Rocky Mountain snowfall is still ongoing, but it is dying down. Now, this low over Virginia is really trending south. Every single model run, this is coming further and further south. I know in yesterday's video I said that the southern mid-Atlantic was kind of my hot spot to watch for severe weather. The low was expected to be north of there. Now we've seen this really dramatically sink down. A lot of the dynamics have changed as far as what we expect, and I no longer expect this area to be the worst of the severe weather in this event, and it's honestly not looking quite as elevated as I thought yesterday, and I don't want that to make any of you not take it seriously because it still could feature some serious severe thunderstorms, but the trending south of this low has decreased kind of the intensity of expected impacts for a lot of these areas. To the north of where that low now is, and we could see even further southern trends, so keep that in mind, or northern trends, of course, but as of the current data, anywhere south of this low is where really your main heart of severe weather is expected, and also there's some pretty bad areas across the Gulf states expecting severe weather, so it's overall going to be a corridor like this that we're watching. Again, this SPC outlooks will be at the end of the video, though. As we move towards Friday on May 10th, we see some lingering thunderstorms still along the eastern seaboard. Not quite as intense as the day prior, however. As we move towards Saturday on May 11th, what we see here is we have some thunderstorms and showers across a lot of the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, interior eastern states as well. And then over the Four Corner states, some thunderstorm showers and even snowfall for portions of Utah and Colorado. Now, as we move towards Sunday on May 12th, what we end up seeing is some thunderstorms and showers still prevailing for some of the mid-Atlantic and northeast, although there is some cooler air kind of heading down, so perhaps more showery than anything for these areas. We are beginning to see the south central states pick back up with some of this humidity and warmth, and this is leading towards some instability in these areas, and we do see thunderstorms flaring up by Sunday the 12th, and by Monday the 13th, we see a very weak low developing over western Texas, which could be helping to really pull up a lot of this warmth and humidity out of the Gulf, and featuring some of this cold trying to recycle behind everything. And this is causing some instability underneath. So wouldn't be surprised if there is some severe weather probabilities, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday here of next week for the south central areas. We're going to have to watch that very closely. Here's Tuesday, and we see that it all does kind of move eastward. So we're seeing a lot of the deeper southeast here, and then up through the central plains and Midwest, seeing a lot of that thunderstorm activity. Plus, we have a 1,000 millibar low pressure center between the two Dakotas. So some cooler air with some showers behind everything, and likely some surging warmth here out ahead of it. So let's see how this progresses and all kind of comes together. And it's pretty messy, I'm not going to lie. We have this 996 up here in Canada. Perhaps a dragging cold front all the way down, I would say, through Kansas and Oklahoma there. Warm front is clearly up above here. And we have surging warmth and humidity over the east overall by this midpoint of next week, exactly 1 week from today. And we have cooler air really moving in behind this low. And this should create an area of severe weather possibilities, especially in here, I would say. But wouldn't be surprised to see some in here, especially with this secondary low over the Ohio Valley. This is a pretty messy frame, but I expect a big time outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. Nothing in terms of some higher end severe weather, but just large areas of your general thunderstorm expected area. I would say a lot of marginal risk areas in here, and maybe even slight. Higher is possible, but hard to say at this point, but definitely some marginal in there for sure. Large areas of it as well. By Thursday here on the 16th, things are really getting amped up. Okay, so we have a massive ridge out west and then a sinking trough over the south central states, and then back up with a major ridge over the east, even more major in this case. And this sinking of this cold air is really leading towards a lot of dry and cold air behind all of this activity, with surging warmth out ahead of things and humidity. This should create a lot of instability, especially in this area here for Thursday on the 16th. No major lows to be seen, but we do have 1,000 millibar in between Mississippi and Alabama. Also, we see for south of the Hudson Bay in Canada there, another low. So this one could be featuring a cold front, but I think this one's going to take over as the primary low. I know this is confusing. This is really messy, and it's pretty confusing for me too, so don't worry. We do see a 993 here. It's getting even more confusing, actually. So a 993 here, but I almost feel like there's a cold front somewhere in here, which is weird. And then some sort of warm front there, but it also looks like there's a bit of a frontal boundary there. So this is just a messy, messy setup. And the only thing I can really say about it is a lot of thunderstorm activity along the east, with some colder, drier air moving in behind things. This should set up some severe weather possibilities somewhere on Friday the 17th. It's just really, really hard to differentiate as of now. And especially when you add the fact that this is 10 days out, there's a lot of change that could happen. It's a pretty messy situation, but I would say that the model is trending at higher activity along the East Coast, especially starting next week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday looks very, very active in the East. So expect a big time uptick as of what the European model is currently showing. And the precipitation really plays into that. We see the deeper south up through the eastern states is your main area of activity. So this area here is that main area. And we see the west coast is really, really dying down. North central states are dying down. It's really this bubble right here where we're watching for a ton of activity. Total snowfall. Really dying down for the Cascades and Sierra Nevada. Rockies are really prevailing here. So we're seeing more and more of this activity for these kind of areas along the Rockies is where we see a lot of our lows originate in these areas, and then they usually dive down from there. So still some snowfall to come. I expect that, as we're approaching June, this is going to really significantly die down. So 10 days from now, we'll be at the 18th, which is what this goes through. I expect a lot less for that next 10-day period, but we shall see. Now your temperature pattern here is going to be all over the place. Warmth in the east, colder. Occasionally, we really see this flip happen soon. So here's Wednesday today, Thursday tomorrow, and we see building warmth out west here. So positive PNA trying to develop, and we're going to see this cold air really rapidly fill in the gap here by the time we're reaching Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We start to get some warmer air back in the mix by mid to late next week. So here's Wednesday of next week, Thursday of next week, Friday of next week, into Saturday of next week. Your Sunday, we get another cool down, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So the trend in the long range is back to the cold again, but We probably saw 2 warm-ups and 2 cooldowns in there over this 15-day period of this model run. So big fluctuations, roller coaster type pattern upcoming. Let's take a look at the Storm Prediction Center. Here's the day 1 outlook. We have an area of general thunderstorms expected for Wyoming, Florida, and then this giant area of lighter green there. That is where we expect general thunderstorms. Anything is possible though, so severe weather can occur within there. So expect the unexpected, obviously. But that is the current expectations from the Storm Prediction Center. Your darker green area is your level 1 risk. We call that a marginal risk, and that is where we expect isolated severe weather to be possible. Your yellow area here for North Carolina, Texas, and a lot of states in between. It's a pretty thin band, though. That is going to be your level 2 slight risk, where we expect scattered about severe weather reports to come in. The orange area for Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, through a lot of the northern deep south states. That is where we expect a little bit more widespread activity. That is at level 3 enhanced risk. And we even have a level 4 moderate risk today for Missouri, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee. This is, it says moderate level 4, but level 5 is the highest possible risk. So I've always said level 4 moderate should have a different name, because it is actually a very high risk with only 1 above it. I would argue that the name, I get into this every time I talk about it. I'm actually not going to fall for it again. I'm not going to do it this time. So moderate is not just, your mid-tier threat as it sounds. It's actually a very high level risk. So keep that in mind. Day 2, we do expect, again, a slight risk up and down this East Coast area. This has receded south a lot. I expected an enhanced risk upgrade somewhere in there, but this low being further south has really changed things. We do, however, have an enhanced risk here for Texas with a little bit more widespread severe weather, as I mentioned. Day 3, we have 4 general thunderstorm risk areas here, as you can see. So if you're in there, again, general thunderstorms expected, severe weather possible always, of course. Southeast area, we do expect isolated severe weather to occur there. And then I think we don't have any extended day outlooks here. Let me see. Yeah, none. So we are basically not expecting any major activity as of now for those days. But, we typically won't see anything posted on these extended range outlooks day 4 through 8 if it's a marginal or below. Sometimes we see a slight sneak in there as well, so they only really indicate them in the long range if they're expecting enhanced, moderate, or high and severe weather outbreaks. So oftentimes it's the bad events that we see pop up on here, but there is some pretty bad days that never end up on this day 4 through 8 outlook, and we don't see it until day 3. So keep that in mind, and these do update every day, so we're going to see more tomorrow and the next day and the next day. So be sure to subscribe, as we do upload every single day. You can even hit the bell icon for daily notifications when we upload, so you never miss one. Be sure to like the video if you did enjoy it, leave a comment down below, and check out my new upcoming vlog channel in the description and pinned comment. I'll see you guys in the next video.